My name is Karen Matkin. I'm the District Clerk of McLennan County, and I've been a resident of this county since 1970. And gentlemen, I have to say, for people who promote themselves as being businessmen and people who claim to want to operate the county in a business-like manner, you have not done so. In fact, you have almost committed a crime in the manner in which you have treated your employees. And your employees are your most valuable resource. And any business management course, the number one thing they're going to tell you is that you need to take care of your employees. And you have not done so. I hope you've listened well to the people who have been the victims of your policies. I hope that you will understand the depth of the actions that you are taking. Frankly, the most shameful thing you have done thus far in your preliminary budget, and I recognize it's a preliminary budget, is to those people who are in West. You have a constable and a JP in West who lost their homes, both of them, lost all of their vehicles. They have employees in their offices who have lost their homes and lost their vehicles. And what did you turn around and do? You turned around and cut those two elected officials' salaries by 10%. 5% that you will not reclaim this year, and then another 5% in the longevity pay and the increase in the health insurance. And you cut their staff employees by 4%. This is at a time when everybody else in this community is trying to figure out how to help the people in West, and you do that to them. And we have other employees in West who suffered losses too, that are going to be impacted by what you have done. All but one of my employees is female, and most of the folks who work in the county clerk's office, the court personnel, purchasing, the treasurer's office, the administrative staff, records division of the jail, of the sheriff's department, and the tax office are female. You have made motions to restore the longevity pay of the jailers who are mainly male. You can't cut the longevity pay of the sheriff's deputies, mainly male. But I haven't heard one of you take a stand in support of your female employees who are primarily the people who provide the positive public services that this county delivers. They are your face to your constituents. They are your record keepers. They manage your court records. I've not heard one of you stand up for them, except for Commissioner Gibson, who stood up for all of the employees. And don't think that we haven't noticed that when we listen to the recording of your sessions, when you laugh about us the managers having to manage in this environment of cuts, that you think that's funny. And Commissioner Snell, my employees heard you yesterday when you talked about passing the donation cup. My employees don't want a handout. They want to be paid for their hard work and their knowledge and their skills. And so for those of you who think this is funny, this is not funny at all. It's not funny for Andy. It's not funny for me. It's not funny for Randy or Bill when we have to deal with what you have done to our employees. You know, I worked for this county from 76 to 81, and I have followed the county's activities ever since I practiced law here. And I will tell you that somehow history has been lost, because it has been my experience and my observation of county government, and I think if you go back and talk to the people who have been here for a long time, they will tell you that the county didn't want to pay more salaries, and so they increased benefits for the employees to compensate them for the lack of salary. And the idea was that if somebody left, they could lose those benefits, and the county would not have paid anyone for those services, and yet you could keep salaries low. And so when you start cutting benefits without that historical perspective, then you are really cutting salary. You are really cutting salary, because the staffs from my office and other offices could earn more in the private sector, but choose to work here for the benefits. And so that is a driving force for many of them. And your failure to recognize that historical perspective is damaging to the current employees. It is damaging to the current employees, because you're going to lose good employees over time, and maybe that's what you want. Maybe you don't want smart employees working for you, but I think that is a very short-sighted approach. And frankly, I'm just surprised that the City of Waco for the last several years, WISD for the last several years, have been able to keep giving their employees salary raises and having modest tax increases. And for the management practices that have been employed here for the past several years, I don't think you need to punish the employees. This should be a shared budget cut and not cut on the backs of the employees. Thank you.